What's up, buddy? Yo, it's just truly Mr. PSA. I am the public Sony's announcements on Instagram. Sony reviewed it on YouTube. Today we're doing a reaction review video of the new airline private jet JSX. Let me know if you guys have taken JSX, if you like it, if you don't like it. I'm gonna do a reaction to this video.
It's not very often that I'll feel tempted to make a video about a short 45-minute flight from San Diego to Las Vegas. However, as you're about to see, this time, it was definitely worth it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott. I am the founder and author of SandSpotter.com, and I'm just about an hour away from flying JSX Airlines to Las Vegas. Of course, one of the benefits of flying JSX is that you don't actually need to arrive to the airport early, which means I'm already doing it wrong. Anyway, JSX operates out of the Signature Flight Terminal here at the San Diego Airport, which is located on the northeast side of the field. It's where all the business jets arrive and depart from, and yeah, this feels just a little bit special. The first thing you need to do when you arrive is to check in at the front desk, which isn't very fancy, but check out this waiting area. It's not very large, but it looks like a pretty good space to stretch out and relax before the flight. The only problem is, despite them telling me that there was no need to arrive early, I didn't listen, and well, here I am feeling like a fish out of water in a fancy pants, high-end business jet terminal. Pro tip: when JSX emails you a day before the flight and encourages you to show up approximately 20 minutes before departure, take that advice. There are absolutely no security checks when flying JSX, and the entire check-in process took me all of 2 minutes. It felt weird, and good, to be able to go back outside while I waited. That didn't prevent me from finding trouble, though. This little guy looks friendly. I guess one of the main advantages of being outside was that I was able to get unobstructed footage of the incoming aircraft. Sort of. It probably goes without saying, but I was really looking forward to this. This is so weird. I'm about to board the plane, but there have been exactly 0 security checks up until this point, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. On one hand, holy crap, this is a really nice way to travel. On the other hand, holy crap, I mean, how do I really know that all these people are trustworthy enough to fly on a commercial airline without security checks? Not that I'm throwing any of my fellow passengers under the bus or anything. I'm willing to bet pretty much anything that there were a few of them who took one look at my stupid red shoes and worried that it was me who was the mentally unstable one. Anyway, check out these seats. Legroom, as you would probably expect for a near private jet experience, is really good. And this wood grain. I'm not really quite sure what to think about this yet, so I'll come back to it later. All in all, this isn't bad. It's certainly not as luxurious as I was expecting, but before I say too much about that, let's check out the menu. Interesting. I guess I was expecting just a little bit more than what would be offered on any other airline. So, yeah. While this might not be living up to the lofty expectations that I had for JSX in my mind, I can say that it has been a pretty neat experience so far. The cabin looks great, there's plenty of legroom, and I really like the fact that we didn't have to deal with any security checks to get to this point. Also, if you thought that I'd be on my best behavior and go easy on the man spread for my first ever near private jet experience, you'd be wrong. I'm so sorry. This is definitely a new perspective of the San Diego airport for me. The Signature Flight Terminal is located very near to the threshold of runway 27, so it didn't take us very long to get into position for takeoff. If anything, it was really fun for a mere mortal like me to experience what it was like flying out of the business jet terminal here in San Diego. And even though the JSS experience isn't exactly like what a proper business jet experience is like, it was pretty neat to be able to dip my toes into that world, if only for a moment. You know, I've actually got a lot to say about this, both good and bad, later in the video. Definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, be honest with me. What do you think about all this wood grain? I wasn't really sure what to think, other than it reminding me of old kitchen cabinets from the 1980s, which, and I'm totally going out on a limb here, probably wasn't the vibe that JSX was going for. And on that note, it's time to see what the JSX in-flight service is all about. But before we get to that, it's important to let you know that these aren't actually real wood tray tables. They are awfully slippery, though. And for the record, this bottle of water was the one that they handed out while still on the ground back in San Diego. The in-flight service hasn't actually started yet, but I gotta say, despite the fact that this hasn't quite lived up to the private jet experience I was hoping for, Wait, hold that thought. The flight attendant came by with a snack basket just now, and I need to get some footage of this. Not that I feel like it's important for you to watch me eat or anything, because, well...
You guys need to understand that whenever you are flying American, United, Delta, or JSX, the expectations are going to be pretty much the same. I think what makes of a good trip is good customer service. Yeah, you might have the snacks, but a lot of us, when we're traveling, we look for good customer service, good communication. But I would say as you're traveling, don't expect too much. Just go there with a positive energy. Just go there and just think of your trip as business. If it's business, if it's vacation, vacation. Because wherever you go, unfortunately, all these airlines, they're all just businesses. They're all just trying to sell a service that would help you get to your place faster, better, more comfortable.
Who wants to see that? What's most important here is helping you to reset your expectations about food and drinks here on JSX. Alcohol is available, free of charge, to those who want it, but unfortunately, the snack selection isn't any better than what you would get on any low-cost carrier. But that wood grain, you're not going to see that on Spirit Airlines. You ever look out the window and wonder if the pilots really know where they're going? It's a stupid question, I know, but how did they ever find Las Vegas back in the day before GPS was a thing? It's literally smack dab in the middle of nowhere, and it makes me wonder who it was that decided that this was a good place to build a major city. These are the things that I think about whenever I fly to Las Vegas, basically. Okay, so we're just about there, and I've got some things to say about JSX. First of all, and probably most importantly, this did not live up to my expectations. The only benefit I see to flying JSX is a more upscale ground experience, which, for me, isn't enough to keep me coming back. Don't get me wrong. Being able to show up 20 minutes before departure is a big deal, actually, and something that I think would appeal to most travelers. However, I'm one of those weirdos who actually likes the ambiance of a big and bustling airport. I like people watching.
So Scott makes a good point here. Like I said, with JSX, it's just basically if you're not a people person, you don't like big crowds, you don't want people bumping into you, then this is the airline that you need to take. But him being him, he said he likes going into the airline, seeing the chaotic, watching people. So you have to know who you are. Do you like big crowds? Are you okay with somebody stepping in your shoes? Are you okay with chaotic? If you are, then you travel with a regular airline. If you don't like big crowds, you don't like people looking at you, then this airline might just be for you.
I like plane watching. I like walking aimlessly from terminal to kill time between flights. You just don't get any of that with JSX, and I guess that means that I'm just not their target customer, which is okay. They've definitely carved out an attractive niche for themselves, one that I think will appeal to many travelers. Anyway, welcome to Las Vegas. We're parked at a remote gate away from the executive terminal, which means that we're not quite there yet, and I've still got a lot to show you before this video ends. And while I'm deplaning here, Let me just say that not having to go through any security checkpoints to fly was the standout feature about JSX for me. Well, that 1980s kitchen cabinet wood grain was pretty sweet, but there's just something incredibly baller about being able to show up at the airport just minutes before departure. However, I am about to discover something else that makes me less interested in the JSX business model. Since they operate in and out of satellite terminals at all the airports they serve, there's extra effort and cost involved when trying to arrange ground transportation. Need a rental car? Call an Uber. Need to transfer over to the main terminal? Call an Uber. Heck, if you need to go anywhere, you're gonna have to call an Uber.
So, for what I'm understanding is your most tickets. I was looking at tickets. They range about 380 to about 400, which is the standard Spirit, Southwest American, United ticket if you buy it 4 to 5 months in advance. So what Scott is saying here is, once you guys land, they put you on a bus and they take you to the main airport. For example, if you're in Vegas, you can go to the main terminal. Versus if you're traveling United, American, or Delta, right when you land, you're in the terminal automatically. You can just go to the gate. So in actuality, if we want to talk about spending money, you'd be better off probably going with a Southwest American or Delta, because as soon as you land, you go in the terminal, you pick up your luggage, and then you go. Versus here, from what he's saying, is when they land on the runway, there's a shuttle bus that has to come and get them, and the shuttle bus takes them inside the terminal. So if you're a person who, once you land, you want to get food, this might not be the airline for you, because right when they land, they have to be on a shuttle. Versus if you're taking a flight with like American or Southwest, right when you land, you go inside the terminal, you can eat your food. So you definitely, as you're flying is a luxury. You have to know what you're getting yourself into.
Whether or not you'll have access to free shuttle services will depend on the airport, but Uber seemed to be the best option in both San Diego and Las Vegas. Anyway, we had to be bussed over to the terminal since we parked so far away from it, and if I had more time, doing a full review of this bad boy would have been really fun, I think. This is a unit. Oh, and I can't forget to mention the SandSpotter patrons before this video ends. Aaron Slater, David Kelly, Riley Wingo, and everyone else on this list, thanks so much for your continued support. Finally, this very crowded executive terminal at the Las Vegas airport is where this video ends. If I'm being honest, this doesn't look as calm, relaxed, and quiet as advertised. Just something to think about before you book a trip to Vegas on JSX.
Shout out to Scott and SandSpotter.com. Guys, when you're traveling, you have to know what you're looking for. If you're looking just to get somewhere quickly at a cheaper rate, then you're probably going to look at Spirit. If you want to travel in comfort and luxury and feel special and be catered to, then you want to go Delta. But if you just want to avoid TSA, get to the airport within 20 minutes, then JSX is your airline. But you have to realize that you're going to probably, as soon as you land on the runway, they have to get a bus that'll wait for you guys, and that bus will taxi you to the airport. So at the end of the day, do you want to take JSX? Because you're going to spend about 5-10 minutes in that bus. Then you have to go to the carousel, grab your bags, and leave. Or you can just land at the airport like Vegas, and right when you land, go downstairs, carousel, grab your bag, and go. So yeah, that as far as for me, I'm the type that I like trying new things. So I would definitely give JSX a try, just because it's an experience. But let me know in the comment section if you have taken JSX. Do you like it? What don't you like about it? Until next time, world, remember, just travel, just travel. And to anybody out there watching, happy birthday, happy early birthday, and happy holidays. Ciao.